Just not the way I wanted it to be on. There's a difference. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are, the main event of the con. For right now, ladies and gentlemen, our guest, our very special guest for Chibi Kon Year 1, Miss Cherami Leigh.
I work with microphones for a living and I have no idea how to work this. Yes, like you said, my name is Cherami Leigh and I'm a voice actor primarily for Funimation, but I also work for various other companies that are working on anime, video games, on-camera stuff, whatever. So, yeah, I am an actor. If you have any questions, we can start there, or I can give you a little background or some of the shows I've worked on. It's whatever. It's up to you guys. Yes?
How did it feel to be working with a character like Sai from Peach Girl?
Sai and Peach Girl was the very first show that I ever did with Funimation, and I had just graduated from high school, and they told me about this company called Funimation. I went and auditioned, and I thought when they said anime, all I knew up until then was that there was Pokemon, Sailor Moon, and Dragon Ball Z. That was like, that was it. And I loved Pokemon. Like, I played the card game with my brother. We would go to like comic book shops and stuff, and bookshops, and do battles and whatever when I was younger. So I was like, okay, cool. And then I auditioned for Peach Girl. I was like, this character is evil, and this is like a high school drama, and I just got out of high school. The last thing I want to do is be like thrust back into more drama. But it was really cool. I worked through, I was like, got picked on a lot in high school and middle school. So I was like using some of that as like therapy to get through some of those issues. I'm like, I'm now on the other side of it. It sucks over on this side too. Maybe everybody should just be nice. But yeah, it was very, and now it's funny because there will be like a lot of guys that will come up. And like, it's, the way they act is like, we're conducting a drug deal. They're like, slide their Peach Girl underneath like a million other things. They're like, that's not for me. I'm like, it's okay if it is. Yeah, it's actually not, because you make it out for Jason. Just don't say it. Are you Jason? Okay. It's cool if you like Peach Girl. There's a lot of guys who like Peach Girl. He's like, there is, really? I was like, yeah, it's like you guys should form a club. So you're not like ashamed of it. It's okay. It's okay. Girls are mean. That's the moral of that story, I guess, for Peach Girl. So yeah, but they're not so bad sometimes. Any other questions? Yes.
Okay. What was it like working with a character like Elizabeth, who is set in such a different time period than our own time period?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of the trick to that was taken care of with the writers, and we had like amazing writers. There are amazing writers in general at Funimation, but specifically on Black Butler, and our director, Colleen, did I think the first portion of that, and then Ian Sinclair took over the rest. And Ian would research it and say, well, these are the accents for this region. This is what we need to do for this region. Based on their clothes, they would be a little cleaner. This would be a little sloppier. This would be a little more Cockney. And so everybody wanted to work on Black Butler because of the accents. It was such a huge deal. We never get to do accents. And then we did Hitalia and Black Butler like at the same time. But everybody wanted to do a British accent. And the dialect had to be right, the script had to be right, it had to be entertaining, as well as having, like you said, a more eloquent dialogue than what we normally get to use. So it was definitely cool. I had a blast, because I love watching movies or telling stories that have that sort of feel to them. So it was a really awesome opportunity, but as far as like, we didn't really have to change anything except for if the line didn't fit and we'd have to add words or take words away, and so we kind of let Ian helm that ship since he like lived with that show. He is like the Black Butler man. At a panel, the Black Butler held the Black Butler panel. It raised $3,000 and 6 pence Not even kidding. Somebody had sixpence with them. And Ian was crying, because that's like his show. It's so great. So, yeah, awesome, awesome show. Any other questions? Yes?
For Shakugan no Shana, I
Yes.
heard that you watched the first season first. So how was it like preparing for a character that you already knew?
Well, it was, I think it, in so many ways, I had so much pressure on myself from that show, because I loved the show in the first place, and I loved what Tabitha did. So when they said it's just not working out, the cast doesn't want to, or Funimation can't, I don't really know what the case was. So when they were having auditions for it, I was like, man, I know I'm not going to get cast, but I really hope that the director and everybody else really wants to do a strong, hello bug, really wants to do a really like strong job like maintaining the integrity of the show, because it was such a great show. And then Ian was directing it again, and Ian's a great friend of mine, and he directed the movie. And I was like, well, if Ian's doing it, Ian and I have a very odd relationship that with anybody else, I'm like, okay, did you guys like it? Okay, cool. Can we try something else? All right. Well, with Ian, I don't ask, can I try something else? He's like, Cherami, how do you feel about that one? I was like, I hate it. Let's do it again. And like, but with Shana, it was like totally new. Like, I was like, she's not tough enough. Again. Tabitha wouldn't like that. Again. And he was like, wow, you're like beating yourself up in the booth. This is insane. So I had such a crazy amount of pressure on myself. I would watch at least an episode before I would go record, just to be in the mindset. I would watch half Japanese, half of Tabitha's performance, so that I'm like, okay, well, I have the Japanese and I have Tabitha, so if I could just fall somewhere in the middle with my twist, cool. So then, I don't know, I might have made myself crazy, but what else is new? But yeah, it was cool, but I don't think I've ever had so much pressure on myself, because normally I just have the Japanese performance to look at. This time I was like, the fans are gonna hate me. And if it was bad, and there have been a lot of people that have like had, like, they hate it, and I'm like, I understand, but I really love the show and I'm doing the best I can. And there's other people that have been like, we can tell that you love the performance. And I'm like, cool, I appreciate that, because I do. So, yeah. Any other questions? Yes?
How was it like voicing Patty?
Patty is hilarious, and like I was telling someone earlier today, I'm a very shy person. So when I'm going to record and there's a giant window and people looking at you, and what you do is you voice things and you do stupid things for a living, it's an invitation to be laughed at. So that's awkward, but for some reason when I did Patty, I would like walk in and I didn't care. And she does some of the most stupid things, or says some of the most intelligent things, and I didn't care. Like, I thought it was so much fun. And so voicing her was like a really freeing experience, because, I mean, they'd be like, she's doing animal sounds for 40 seconds. And most of the time, every actor's like, okay, is the torture, like, is it done? Did you get what you needed? And I would be like doing 30 seconds over. Or like singing for the whole scene. I only had to sing for 20 seconds. And I was like, but I'm having fun! So the director thought it was nuts, but that's okay. But yeah, I love her. Yes?
How was it playing Road and D.Gray-man?
Road was scary, because that was the first character that I worked on that had like a huge amount of episodes, and we didn't get to dub all of them. But it was very intimidating going in and knowing that I have like a huge bulk of episodes that we might get to do. And Todd also was like, yeah, she's got kind of like a sensual side and she's really cute. I was like, come again, what? This is not, no. No. This is uncomfortable. Todd was like, Cherami, it's going to be fine. I was like, no, Todd, it's not going to be fine. What are you doing this to me for? Is this a form of torture? And he was like, I think you could do it. I was like, whatever, okay, fine. And in that booth, there is not a window, there's a camera. So, like, they can see me, like, this close, and I can't see them. Well, I can, it just, like, looks like a night vision camera. So, like, they can see me doing stupid things up close and personal, and I can see them just laughing quietly in the corner. So yeah, finally got through that, and then one day I come in, he's like, so she has this like epic song. I was like, are you kidding? And he was like, no, I'm not kidding. I was like, So yeah, I can. But he was like, yeah, we're gonna sing this song. I was like, you must be joking. You're not even gonna let me like prepare the song? And no, he didn't. He just like threw out. He's like, okay, 15. Do you want like 10, 15 minutes to look at it, learn it, hear it, and then go? I'm like, 15 minutes? He goes, you're right, we don't really have that. So like, I'm gonna let you hear it like 4 times, and you got it, right? I was like, what? Yeah. No? And he was like, oh, Cherami, and like plays the song. I'm like, challenge accepted? I don't know. But yes, I can sing it, and I'll sing for you now, and I don't know how good it's gonna be. Lord, millennium is in search of you, looking for the heart now. Have you heard the news? Maybe you stole it from him. I'll see if it's true. Yes. Thank you. It's been a while since I've sung that song, so there you go. Yes.
Cherami, I have 2 questions. How is it like working on Fairy Tale, and how do you feel now that Soul Eater is airing on Toonami tonight?
Okay. Yes, I love Fairy Tale. I hope we get to do it forever. I mean, I know there's like the questionable hiatus. We don't know what's going on with the Japanese side of things, and we don't know what's going on with licensing with Funimation. But if everybody keeps supporting it, like I think is happening now, then Funimation, as far as I know, is going to continue to let us work on it. So Fairy Tale's awesome. And Soul Eater. I've been trying to like make a video, put on Facebook now. It started on Wednesday, and here we are on Saturday now. It hasn't happened yet. Because I thought if I put it on my phone, then I can upload it to Facebook, whatever. It's just, it's an issue. But the reason for my video was to say how much I appreciate everybody's support for Soul Eater being on TV. And because I was like super excited when it happened, but bouncing back between Dallas and LA, I hear all these people that are like, yeah, we're on the show, but they canceled it before it got to my episode. And I was like, Soul Eater's going to be on TV for like all of a week and a half, and my episode's not going to be on, and I won't be able to be on Cartoon Network. Like, this sucks. And then Todd was like, we made it. I was like, no, we didn't. And I like turned, because I was boycotting watching it, because I was like, this is just too painful. It's too real. And then he was like, we're on. I was like, we are on, right? On. And everybody's like posting all these messages on Twitter, and it's very exciting. So it's pretty awesome. We didn't get kicked off, so there's that. I think we've like been trending too, like a trending topic the last couple of weeks. So hopefully Cartoon Network's like, oh, let's see what other Funimation shows we can put on our channel. I have a couple that they could think about using. I know. Panty and Stocking is hilarious.
Yes. I didn't know about that.
Do what?
I didn't know about that.
Oh, what about?
Penny and Stocking.
Oh, Penny and Stocking is hilarious. It's so colorful.
Oh, yeah.
Language, maturity, and just visually bright and colorful. So there's that. Any other questions? Yeah.
Okay, I have 2.
Okay.
First one I want to ask is, since you said that you were shy, how was it to play Chio from Big Windup, where she is just this over-dominating woman?
Yeah. Well, the biggest thing that I remember about Big Windup that would give me like an anxiety attack is the amount of Japanese names that I would have to say. And I was like ready to strangle someone, stressing out about the pronunciation. Because we get pronunciation references from the Japanese creators. But then sometimes they're like, you know what, for American audiences, we think we want to pronounce it this way instead. So I would record it all one way. And then I didn't know why I got called in for Big Windup after the show ended for 3 hours. And I was like, why do I have 3 hours? The show's over. They said, we got pickups on the names. So for 3 straight hours, all I said was all of these names, like 5 or 6 different ways. I was like, oh, this is so stressful. And